Let's return to the US because thousands of firefighters are still trying to control 5 blazes that have devastated Los Angeles, burning down swathes of the city and reducing some of the world's most expensive and sought-after properties to ashes. There has been some progress in containing some of the wildfires, but firefighters say changes in wind strength and direction could make things more difficult over the course of the day. More than 150,000 people have been ordered to leave their homes. A further 160,000 have been warned to be ready to evacuate quickly. The LA County Sheriff has told the BBC the city's suburbs looked as if they'd been hit by an atomic bomb. Many neighbourhoods have been left unrecognisable. Well, the destruction is expected to cost up to $150 billion, and the National Guard has also been deployed. A nighttime curfew has been imposed in the areas impacted by the Pacific Palisades fire and the Eaton fire. And police are warning that anyone involved in despicable looting will be arrested. Finally, let me show you what the firefighters are battling. 5 fires continue to burn. Only one of them, Lydia, is anywhere near contained. Well, these are the live pictures from just the helicopters that are flying. You heard their officials in the news conference talking about how one of the Super Scooper planes had been hit by a drone, and that has been put out of action. A real blow because they only have 2 of those, but you can see the huge plumes of smoke. Now, in the last hour, the mayor of Los Angeles, Karen Bass, has been giving a press briefing.
When we're on the front lines, when we're in the command posts, when we're in the Emergency Operations Center, we carry with us our friends and neighbors. That is what this fight is all about. It's about those friends, neighbors, and loved ones who have fled their homes, those who have lost their homes, those who have lost their lives. To all Angelinos, we are fighting hard for each of you.
Well, that's the latest from the news conference. Let me give you more of a picture of actually what it's like trying to battle these fires. We've seen days of it. Captain Adam Van Gerpen from the LA Fire Department is one of the many actually on the front lines. He spoke to me a little earlier and described what his crews are facing with the Palisades area fire.
So the latest right now, we're out at Pacific Palisades fire, and we have approximately 20,000 acres that have burned so far. So we have 2,300 firefighters who are on scene, still battling this fire. So we have some of the most erratic wind conditions that I've ever seen in my 25 years. This the fire changed direction numerous times, and our firefighters were having an active firefight all through the night. So we are still having some winds. We're in what we call red flag wind conditions going through until tomorrow night. So we are still have all crews on deck standing by.
Your teams are working around the clock, and that's been the case for day after day. Just give me a sense of what that is like.
Well, our firefighters have been getting very little to no sleep, especially the first 2-3 nights. So the first few nights, it was nonstop structure fires as far as the eye can see. We were up and down our Pacific Coast Highway, all throughout the hills. And, our firefighters, this is what we train for. But what, we haven't seen is these erratic winds, the way that it's spread through this entire community. So, our firefighters are tired, but this is also what we train to do. And so we are going to be remaining on scene until we get 100% containment of this fire.
As you're talking, we're seeing pictures of some of the biggest fires that are still burning. Just tell me, you've talked about the wind, but give me more a sense of what the fundamental difficulties, because the size, the area this is covering, and also the speed, presumably all of that is making it so difficult to actually bring it under control.
Yeah, so on the first couple of days of this fire, the rate at which the wind was blowing, people had only minutes to evacuate. So we knew this was a wind event was coming. We alerted the people in the community. We had pre-deployed our fire resources standing by for this, but nothing could have prepared us for how fast and how erratic this fire spread. So we're fighting fire from one direction. We're spraying water, and it's going 90 degrees to the side. And then as soon as we're putting that fire out, there's an ember cast. We had ember casts that were spreading this fire throughout the entire community. So you're fighting a fire, you knock one down, and then the embers start another one on fire. So also we have evacuation issues. So everybody's trying to evacuate at one time. We had some choke points in there. People actually had to get out of their vehicles and were running for safety. Now these vehicles at the abandoned creates a gridlock, so that has to be removed. So we had a lot of issues with this fire, but this is something that we have not seen to this level or this extent.
You talk about the embers. Let me explain to our viewers, because I've heard descriptions of this. They're almost like small fireballs that the wind is picking up and then moving them maybe 1 mile or 2 miles ahead of the main fire line. And that means you then have a potential new fire to deal with. So all the time there are new problems being thrown up. There's also the problem of a lack of water coming out of hydrants. Explain why there's a water problem as well.
Well, whenever you have a large fire, you only have so much water inside all the water main pipes. So if you're fighting fire in an entire community from all different angles and everyone is spread out, you sometimes have some water issues. So as firefighters, we're trained how to deal with that. We have water tankers that are out there that we're supplying our firefighters. We also have what we call relay shuttle operations, where we take water from one fire engine and bring it to another. But this event was so fast moving that we really had to be ready for anything.
In terms of a couple of the big blazes, the Eaton fire, the Palisades fire, what level of containment are you at the moment?
So right now we're about 6% containment with the Palisades fire, which is where I'm at. So the Eaton fire, I can't speak on the containment numbers for there, but the fact that we have multiple fires in the Southern California area, even as we're fighting the Palisades in Los Angeles City, we have other fires breaking out within the city. So we still have to manage those within different fires. So while we're fighting fire last night, we had one broke out in the Los Angeles Valley, and we had to deploy air assets and drop fire retardant on that. And that one went quickly from 50,000 to 80,000 acres, and we had to put a quick stop to that. So we're fighting on many fronts out here.